Hello, hello. Howdy, hi, welcome. There's a lot going on over here. Hang on, let me move that jar over. There. It could be next to you guys, so you guys can try to desperately reach out for the delicious monies and subscriber stars, but you get nothing. Ha ha ha. I forgot that your name was Les-Pilled Yuri Maxer. It's such a memorable name. It's definitely unique. Yeah. I finished Baldur's Gate. I liked it a whole lot. And I am going to be talking spoilers. I am spoiling the game. Late game, middle game, early game, I'm spoiling it all. I am spoiling Baldur's Gate. Oh, hang on, I'm layered weirdly. I'm floating. How'd that happen? Hang on, let me fix myself. There we go. But yeah, I'm talking about spoilers, so if you do not want to be spoiled, go away. I'll see you next time. But if you're cool with all of that, then welcome. Come on in. And, have fun while I talk about mostly the hot boys. At work today, I took a couple days off. I just gave myself a bit of a long weekend. And then at work today, one of the guys was like, how was your weekend? And I was like, oh, it was good. I finished Baldur's Gate. And then he was like, okay, cool. And then later he came around and he was like, hey, twins, what kind of game is Baldur's Gate? And I was like, it's like D&D, you know, you fantasy fighting monsters. And he's like, okay. And then there was a part of me that was like, I wonder what he knows about Baldur's Gate, because I definitely know that when I first was introduced to it, all I knew it was the game where you can fuck the druid as a bear. That's all I knew. You can fuck the druid as a bear. You can fuck the druid as a bear. And it's like, maybe I don't want to. What else is there to the game? This is the latest you've ever seen twin stream happen? It's not that late. I ate dinner first. So, that might be why. Yeah, you can fuck the druid as a bear. And I've gotta be honest. I could have fucked the druid, but I didn't. But because I already chose to romance somebody else. And also, in a following playthrough where I do fuck the druid, I don't want to fuck him as a bear. So, yeah, let me just get some pictures of all the hot guys so we can talk about the hot guys. And also, I guess, the story, too. But, yeah, it was really great. I think it's hilarious. Cause I was like, oh, booey hooey hoo. Tears of the Kingdom should have been Game of the Year. Boo hoo hoo hoo. And now here I am. And I liked Baldur's Gate so much that I am already planning my next playthrough. And maybe the playthrough after that. So, don't mind me as I just slot in some... Will this work? No, I need to save the picture. Don't mind me, I'm gonna just be saving images of hot boys and adding them to the background as we go here. If you wanna know, I romanced Gale. He's the wizard. And you know what's fun? Okay, so, I had started out being like, I'm going to romance the vampire, Astarion. Well, actually, first cause I saw him and I was like, he's pretty handsome. And then I got to know him, like, in the game, you know? And he's got a pretty aggressive personality. You know, and, like, he's kind of rude. Gale, my husband. And so, I'll put him back there. We'll just kind of line these guys up on my desk, I think. There's a good number of guys. And so I was like, you know, I was thinking about romancing the vampire, but he's just awfully rude. And so I was like, well, Gale is also quite handsome, so what about him? But his backstory is that he was romantically involved with a literal goddess. And that didn't work out very well. Plot happens, whatever, that's fine. But, because of that, and so I was like, well, I can't compete with a goddess. So what's the point? So, like, I kind of rubber banded between vampire and wizard a couple of times. And then the deciding factor was truly the fact that it was so easy to just naturally gain affection for the wizard. Because, you know, characters will dislike or will approve of the vampire that I will probably romance in my second playthrough. You know, they like and dislike your actions, your decisions. You know, pretty standard stuff in terms of, you know, RPG things. And I had to keep looking up what Astarion, the vampire, I had to keep looking up, like, how to make this guy approve of my things. He approves of being a pretty mean person, like, you know, attacking people, you know, just being rude to people. Those are the actions he approves of, versus Gale the wizard, that, like, just how I naturally wanted to play as myself, a nice person. Like, I just was naturally gaining approval for Gale so easily, and that was the deciding factor at the end of it. Who else am I looking up? Oh, right. So, yeah. My build, I was a bard. Of course I was a bard. I am truly nothing else but a bard. I don't think I could pick a playthrough where I don't play as a bard, I'm gonna be honest. It's the best class as well, because you get jack of all trades, so you're kind of just decent at everything. That's the thing, people describe bards as being the Riz class. Oh, bards. You mean sluts. Nothing but sex with bards. And it's like, no. It's nothing but talking with bards. That's the thing. My favorite part is the talking. And as a bard, I'm basically good at all. Intimidation is the one I can't do that well. But every other sort of interaction you can have through dialogue as a bard, I'm great at. What are your thoughts on Love in Deep Space? I don't even know what that is. I have heard those words. I don't know what type of game it is. This one is, I need to regale you. I've fallen in love with Satan. Satan is in the game. His name is Raphael. He's the devil. And I've fallen for him so aggressively hard, and I can't explain that. I just have. So he's my number 3 husband. Oh no, not him. Let me Google a Love and Deep Space. I love seeing how people react to Astarion because it's always either they love him or can't stand him. I definitely, at first, I was like, man, why does everyone like this bitch? Fuck off. And then, the writing is so good. Because he is a vampire, and you learn about that backstory. Oh, well, first of all, he's pretty overt. Like, before you officially learn, like, his concept art does have blood all over his lips and stuff, you know. It's pretty obvious. It's not really a secret. But in the game, you learn about him being a vampire in a cutscene where he tries to suck your blood. And you can, like, let him do that. And I was like, okay, sure, you know, I'm thinking about romancing him anyway. I want to be his friend anyway. So, you know, sure. And the writing was so good that it made my heart go doki doki for the scene where he sucks your blood. Like, I was like, heavens, I've got butterflies. Dude is Satan, but is named after an archangel. Perfect for twins, truly. I really ended up liking... What am I Googling? Love in Deep Space. I really ended up liking Baldur's Gate Satan. Oh, wait! This one! Love in Deep Space. Okay, so this is the... okay. What I thought this game was, Love in Deep Space is an otome game where you romance one of a handful of very similar looking K-pop looking boys. Just pretty normal otome game affair. I thought it was just a visual novel. I was watching a video from a gal who mostly does Project Sekai stuff. She had one for Love in Deep Space, and I was like, but what is Love in Deep Space? And she's playing the game and everything, and then there was, like, combat, and I was like, this is a real fucking game? I thought it was just the light romance simulator. Like, not really a porn game, but nothing much more than you know, kind of teasing the idea of it being a porn game. It's not for me. The boys are very boring. They all look very similar. Boring. Not for me. Oh no, I've got the hiccups. But it's got quite the character customization. Oh shit. So, I don't know, that would be fun. I just like... Oh no! Hang on. Okay. That should fix the hiccups. Hi! Welcome! We're talking about Baldur's Gate. And we've touched on Love in Deep Space, because somebody asked. But, not for me. I honestly thought it was an RPG or something with a romance catching people's attention. That's hilarious. We both really were missing huge halves of the game, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like their favorite flavor is butter. That's gotta be one of my favorite disses that I had towards, kind of most gacha Game Boys. One last guy. Oh, right, of course. It is the druid. Oh my gosh. Okay, so everyone was like, you could fuck the druid, and I was like, I don't want to. But then I interacted with him, and boy howdy, if I wasn't already romancing Gale, that druid really had a chance. Oh fuck, I just copied it again. God telling you to stop talking. For real, though. I suppose I ought to talk about more than just, the romance options in Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate? Do you not know what Baldur's Gate is, Jordan? Baldur's Gate 3? It's the one where you can fuck the druid as a bear. It's basically D&D, but on your PlayStation or PC. There we go. This is my harem down here. Hello, welcome. The writing was really good, though. I'm gonna go back to talking about spoilers, so be prepared. Okay, there should be a fifth guy in my harem, but he was a liar, plants for hire. You have a dream guardian. You make your character, and then the game's like, you need a guardian. Make one. And I was like, got it, aces. And I made a hot boy, obviously. And at first I was very nervous because I couldn't, the PlayStation version did not play um, a sample of the Dream Guardians 2 voice options. And so I was like, that one, I guess. And then I was like, fuck, what if I gave him a woman's voice? Because I couldn't hear. And luckily, avoided. But he would have been in my selection of husbands, but he was a liar, and he was actually a mind flayer. And part of me is like, oh, I shouldn't be surprised. Mind flayers play a humongous role in the story. But I was like, I trusted you. Big hurt. Big ouch. No, please talk about Halsin more. I can. Halsin was great. Incredibly friendly. Unfortunately for me, I also got him very late into Act 2. The game is in 3 acts. And you can really recruit Halsin, that's the druid, in Act 2. But I didn't know how, because I kind of fucked up. I kind of fucked up because, so, in Act 2, you're in a spooky forest. And, like, the spooky forest is dangerous. Like, there's like a constant fog, doom kind of effect on the land. And so I beelined it straight to town where it was safe. There was like the last, bastion of safety. And I was just like following the plot. It was like I show up and the lady's like, welcome, go upstairs, talk to the important woman. And I was like, you got it, dude. And then I go upstairs and I talk to the important woman, and she did get kidnapped. No, not the Underdark. The forest. The spooky forest. Moon's Haven, or whatever. And so she did get kidnapped. And I was like, oh no. Anyway, but I didn't want to save Scum that decision. I fucked up. I did not succeed in keeping her from getting kidnapped. So, okay, that's how my story went. That does mean, though, that I did not actually explore that town, before it got, destroyed, because the important woman got kidnapped. Oh no! And so I just did not know how to actually progress Halsin's story. That was when I really started Googling things. I started the game by not Googling anything outside of, approval for the fellas. Specifically Astarion, because he hated me otherwise. But yeah, I didn't want to Google anything. But then I got to Act 2, and that's when the Googling became significantly more common. I was like, okay, if I do this, what happens? If I do this, what happens? Because your actions really have consequences, and there was a part of me that was like, oh, it'd be cool to not, look any of this up and just follow my heart. But I wanted the happy ending for everyone. So, I had to Google things to make sure I was doing it right. Hang on, give me 1 second. I need to blow my nose. I'll be right back. You all take these 2 seconds to choose which of my husbands is your favorite. Did you all pick? Did you pick Satan? I really liked Satan. It's a right shame that he is Satan. You can technically fuck Halsin, or no, Satan. We're talking about Baldur's Gate 3. I am spoiling Baldur's Gate 3. So if you don't want spoilers, I'll see you next time, Ranger. If you don't mind, then stick around. Yeah, you can technically fuck Satan. His name's actually Raphael. And technically you don't actually fuck him. You fuck an incubus that looks like him. But I did save Scum that decision. I knew that you could have sex with the incubus, and I was like, I want to do that. And but he takes over your mind and stuff. It's not a great idea to have sex with the incubus. which is a bummeroni, if you ask me. But that's what Save Scumming is for. So you get the sexy hot cutscene, and then you go, okay, ha ha ha. Well, we'll go back, and that didn't actually happen. Also, so, character customization. Great. Really solid. Dude with the long hair, have a type for long hair guys. Gale, I like that he can't get over being broken up with by a magic goddess. You know, it's a pretty high bar that he set. Also, the writing for Gale is so good, because I wrote... Thank you, that's checkmate. Because remember that my thing with him, I was like, oh, he's very handsome and likable, but he's got his ex-girlfriend, the goddess, and I was like, I can't compare with a goddess. And they write Gale so well. Oh fuck, it's so good that, like, he still showers you as his romance option, with, like, praise. Like, he's like, I'm so glad you finished the best game of all time. It's really good. I'm excited to play it again. Like, he'll be like, he says things like, you are more impressive than the stars. He's got so many good fucking compliments. And that was what made me realize. I was like, goddamn, just having a character compliment me. Give me praise. Be nice to me. Heaven to Murgatroyd. It versus a world where fellas, and this is why I was talking about it on stream the other day. I think I was doing art, but how fellas don't know how to interact with their emotions, especially in the States. We're taught them to shut that down, to not engage with your emotions. If you do that, you're a pussy. Women do that, and so men only interact aggressively. And so boys flirt by shit-talking and stuff. And how fucking sick I am of that. I'm so sick of boys being like, I'm gonna shit talk, I'm gonna knock over your books, you know, that kind of a thing. Versus in a video game character just said some nice things. Called me beautiful. All of them did that. That's the thing. They're all just so willing to compliment and be nice. And that is my flaming hot tip to all you boys. Just be nice. Be polite. Be a gentleman, and you will get pussy every day. I think I'm gonna play a bard again. I was thinking about it, and I couldn't think to play another class again. But I think I'm gonna actually reclass a good number of the friend group. I think Karlak, she's great. I really liked her story. She made me cry. I saved her. She almost died, but she didn't. Karlak is a barbarian, and that's great, but I think based on, like, her, like, story things, I'd like to change that up for her. Same with Shadowheart, the cleric. I'd like to reclass her once, she basically, you know, we get to the point in her story where, she gives up on her patron. Which does mean not having a cleric, so I would have to work around that. But, yeah, I think I'll play as a bard again. No, I'm not gonna do the Dark Urge. It sounds boring. I could just play as a mean character myself. You know, I don't need the game telling me that I'm important because I'm being mean. The best one that Gale has is that, like, so I think after your first romantic cutscene with him, where it's implied you have sex, you don't see anything though. It's not a porn game, unfortunately. But you have a dialogue with him afterwards, and you can choose the dialogue option of like. You don't need to try so hard to impress me, I'm not a goddess, kind of a thing. That's the gist of what the dialogue option was, and that's what I chose. And his response is along the lines of, you're pretty close and I would know, kind of a thing. And it's like using that backstory that had made me go, oh, I'll never be good enough for him, to be how he justifies how much he appreciates you. Oh my god, it's just so fucking good. Also, okay, an important thing about character customization, by the way, is, are you gonna recruit Minthara? No, I don't think so. I don't really care. Maybe if she was a hot boy, I would think about it more. But, I don't think so. I'm not wholly opposed to it, but I don't wanna... I like the tieflings more. You know, I want to make sure the tieflings are safe, which means getting rid of the goblins. That's all Act 1 stuff. So, yeah. Character customization. I've been meaning to say this. Okay, so, certain races have multiple sort of body type options for male and female. Not all of them do, but, like, elf, half-elf, human, and tiefling, I think, are the ones. There's, like, short boy, short girl, and also tall boy, tall girl. And also, you can, like, they exclusively refer to you with they-them pronouns, which is really smart. It means they didn't have to re-record everything, a million times. It's brilliant how they avoid saying your name, and also often avoid saying any pronouns. It's really good, but that's besides the point. So, but I'm gonna warn you that while it is, like, tall boy and tall boy and short boy, and tall girl and short girl, the mocapping seems to just have been done twice for male and female. If you are like me, and you make yourself the tall girl body type, the animations do kind of assume you are a man. And it's mostly fine. I did tower over my whole team, which I didn't expect. That's the thing with those options. It's like, can you put me next to another character so I can compare how tall I am? But for the most part, it's fine. It does mean that when I romanced Astarion at the end of Act 1, I picked him up for sex. But I didn't mind. You know, I'm a tall girl. But later, when I did my save scumming and had the sex scene with the incubus, he did, like... It's the most explicit cutscene in terms of, like, sexuality stuff. He mounts me as if I had a penis. And it was like, no! No! No, you gotta go between my legs now! And so be aware that while it's, oh, I'm gonna be a tall girl, the game will assume you have a dick. Because they just mocapped it that way. So be aware. Okay, also, I need to talk about this. The very first thing, before anything else, I open the game, it loads up, and then the very first thing is the question, genitals, on or off? And I was like, on, I guess. I didn't expect it to be a question. And then the game proceeds. You can choose your preferred genital options when customizing your character. That's swell. Okay, throughout all of the game, genitals were never on screen. In the multiple sexy cutscenes I had, pants, if pants were ever off, the genitals were still censored. Like by, like, having a leg conveniently, you know, crossed in a way that, you know, or leaves in the way. And so I was just like, then why did you ask? The only way I could see anything was if I went into the menus. You can take off your party members' clothes. You can, because, you know, you can unequip and then re-equip, like, armor. But when they're in their skivvies, like, you could just also unequip their underwear. I'd be like, golly, there's your penis or whatever. And that was... That was it. And I was just like, why did you ask? Why was this an option? Why aren't there more penises? If I said yes to genitals, why are there not more penises in the video game? I feel like I only saw 2. One for sure, you can find a naked version of the Dark Urge, like, default character, in the Act 3. In Orin's, like, Temple of Murder. And I was like, there's a penis, but it was like at a distance. And then there was another one where I think I saw one. Because, so, it was in the cutscene when the girl got kidnapped. So, all these, like, demons show up. And all of them had little loincloths, except for seemingly the very first one. That one just seemed to be full mast and a penis. And I don't know if maybe I just saw her wrong. But I saw the cutscene a couple times, because I had save scummed, because I didn't like my interaction with her. I wanted to change what I said. But then I was like, there's a penis, there is one! But I only cared because the game bothered to ask me at the beginning. And I'm just like, if there's not gonna be any genitals, why did you ask? Take that boy's pants off if I'm romancing him. I don't need to see, like, you know, like, fucking insertion. but let me see his penis! There's only so much sexiness and penises a game can have before it becomes an AO rating. I guess you're right. It's just a baffling question that didn't seem to matter. Did you save scum much on dice rolls? No point to. As a bard, my bardic inspiration lets me re-roll an awful lot. And also I gave myself the feat of lucky. So I never needed to save scum on dice rolls, because I just got to keep rolling until I got a roll I liked. Twins death gripping Gale, let me see your penis. I'm now imagining Twins shaking Allison rapidly, shouting, penis, penis is a penis. I did bring all this up to her. I was like, why aren't there, like, what the fuck? And because there's a part of me, I bet you, if you're romancing the girls, I don't know if you would see, like, you know, obviously, they wouldn't show a full vagina. But I bet I bet you this is anti-penis bullshit. I bet you could see some labias. Remember, Twins, they probably expected people to play this on Twitch, so having too many penises probably would have not worked out well. Yeah, but you could have just said no! That was the thing they asked! They were like, genitals? And I said yes, which implies I wasn't streaming. And also, there's still too many topless women to stream with, like, confidence. I gotta say. I think I could probably stream it. It's not, like, you can usually tell when they're gonna show up, you know? But it was just like, I was like, oh, her titties are out. I would have to censor that if I was streaming. I'm sick of blowing my nose. I gotta be honest. Allergies can stop. Just stop. There are a lot of titties out in Baldur's Gate 3, to be honest. And you know, that's the thing. I feel like I only scratched the surface, especially in Act 3. I was really, like, zeroing in on the plot. So I didn't explore Baldur's Gate, the town, very much. Also, I kept getting lost. It is a complicated map. And boy, what a fucking whiplash it was. I had just spent hours in the spooky forest where there was nobody. The only little spit of civilization that there had been, I razed to the ground because I failed to save the one important woman, and they all got turned into Zambos, including Damon. I liked him. He was the blacksmith, and he's dead now. by my hand. I looked him in the eye and did thunder wave and killed him and whatever. Anyway, and so like it's dark forest. You don't talk to like damn near anybody. The most interaction you have is with like ghosts and goblins, and then you make it to Act 3, and you're immediately thrown into an incredibly busy town, and it's like, I'm overstimulated. But yeah, I'm excited for a second playthrough to be a body type, so the game thinks I'm actually a woman, and also to fuck more people, cause that's the thing. I fucked the vampire, and I fucked Gale, and I save scummed for the incubus, but Gale insists on a monogamous relationship, and I respect that. I've really fallen for Gale. However, that meant I didn't get to fuck the druid, and I want to. Knocked out Minthara and looted her stuff, and later in Act 2, when she was on trial, she was in the nude. Damn, there was a crazy bug that happened to me. It was what and I wonder if it was because of the save scumming with the incubus. But when I finally finished fighting Satan, because that was a tough fight, oh boy, howdy, but I did it. And then I finally got back, and then me and everyone in my party, like, defaulted to our underwear when we got back to camp. And I was like, what the fuck, why? Why are we all in our skivvies? Put your clothes back on, what's going on? Halson kept propositioning me in all my playthroughs. He's so horny. He's so horny. But like, in a sort of nervous, but eloquent way. But fellas should take notes. Real boys should take notes. Play through Baldur's Gate as a way to educate yourself on how to interact with a woman and have them want you. Twins, Allison, look, there's sex in the game, and penises are out. Allison, twins, please get a boyfriend or buy a prostitute. She knows. She knows, don't worry. That I am a captain of the horn dogs. Why did you do that? What do you mean? Did you get the Volo back alley eye replacement surgery? I almost did. I panicked in that cutscene because the writing was really good, and I was like, at first, there's so much interacting with your eye already that is like, ew, 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 ew. I hate eye stuff. And then Volo trying to do his eye replacement surgery. It was like, and the narrator is like wording, like, she explains it all so well. It's written so well. And I was like, I could feel it. No. So, I backed out. Step 1, get fucking shredded. Step 2, be more like Halson. Exactly. Apparently it's not too uncommon for the clothing to glitch and despawn. That's crazy. It has me wondering if my game is updated. There were a couple, like quite a few weird bugs that I encountered kind of like that. And so I was like, I wonder if my game isn't actually updated and like I'm playing patch 1 or something. I don't know. But but yeah. Great game still. Even with all the goofiness. The Volo eye replacement is such a useful buff low key. What's it do? Cuz I panicked in the middle of it and I backed out. But what happens if you go through with it? I know that Astarion can kill you. I know that Astarion can kill you when you let him drink your blood. If you don't stop him, he'll kill you. Which is kind of hilarious. Unless you see invisibility permanently, I think. That's really good. Do you get like a new eye? Like, that's actually pretty sick. That's pretty fucking cool. But knock out Minthara instead of kill, and you can recruit her in Act 2. She's really good in combat. Yeah, that was the problem. I obtained Halson and also Jathara, was that her name? The other druid woman. And while I liked both of them, I didn't really use them that much because I was really attached to my my party members, and so I just kept them, and then sometimes I would talk to Halson after important plot things, because I do like this a lot. The characters will comment on when plot things happen or character quests progress, and it was really cool, because it makes it feel like they're actually a party that knows each other, and not, you know, the NPCs who only talk to me kind of a thing. It was nice. I liked it. Minthara is a paladin. I see. Did you kick the squirrel? No. No, I did not. I was nice to all animals. 'Cause I am great. I am swell. I am excellent. I don't know if I actually even interacted with a squirrel. I don't know if the option to kick a squirrel was ever one I ran into. I did become the voice of the mushrooms, and I kept that necklace on for the whole damn game. I befriended the Mushroom King, and you don't even know, being a bard who could add a bonus to my talking ability, yo, I was fucking unstoppable because of the mushroom. Oh my gosh, I need to tell you. I did not talk to the postman pigeons. I told you I didn't do much in Act 3 because I got so overwhelmed. I need to tell you, okay, in Act 2. No, I think it might still be Act 1. When you're in the Underdark, which is like cave. I was given a quest to find a dwarf. And I was like, got it, I'll go find him. And I do. I find him, I find the mushrooms first. He has planted himself, somehow gotten himself stuck in a field of mushrooms, and I've encountered these mushrooms previously in my adventures in the Underdark. I know that they explode. And so what I've been doing is using my wizard to do a fire spell at them at a distance, and so they explode safely, and we can just keep moving on our merry way. I saw the mushrooms first, and I go, oh, that's a lot of mushrooms. I don't want to deal with that. Go ahead and shoot a fireball. And then I do. And then I see a character take a lot of damage in the distance. And I basically napalmed this one dwarf as it exploded for like a full 30 seconds. And so then I save scummed that, because I walk into the field and his dead body, and I was like, oh no! And so I save scummed. It was fine. I saved him from the mushrooms. But that was what a memorable moment. The first time I ever saw Baldur's Gate 3 was when a person got nipped by a squirrel and was given the option to kick a squirrel, and got a crit, causing it to splatter onto a tree. Wow. Yeah, no, I don't remember that squirrel. I did not encounter that squirrel. Or if I did, I was nice to them. It took me a while to find the dwarf, so when I reloaded, because I knew he was there now, he was like, yo, I need help. And I think I was able to just either teleport what he needed to him, or teleport him to us. Like, I was able to kind of just warp. It ended up being quite easy because I found something that meant I didn't have to sneak through the mushrooms. Thank goodness. Because I'm bad at sneaking. Another thing. Hang on, I need water. This will be such an interesting story about the one time twins walked into a brothel. But let me get water, and then I'll regale you with that. so the one time I walked into a brothel. Okay, so, no, I did not accidentally walk into the brothel. The game made it very clear that it was a brothel. And also, I needed to go there for a quest as well. That's besides the point. The quest was related to Satan, but unfortunately, it wasn't to fuck him. Whatever. Anyway, so I walk into the brothel, and I talk to the, like, lady behind the counter, because she was designated as someone, like, a shop, you know, with goods. And I was like, can I purchase goods? And I think you can get, like, dyes, like, for dyeing clothes. But that's not important. The important part is, she has dialogue. And I'm pretty sure it's set regardless of your, like, about what you look like. Like, I don't think her dialogue will change. But she's basically like, oh, I know what you're here for. You want our sexy female librarian dwarf to whip you. And I replied with the dialogue option of, you could not be more wrong. Because it was true that no, I do not, you got every word wrong. I do not like ladies, and I am the one that would be doing the whipping. So that was the outstanding moment, talking to the brothel lady, that she so fully had her radar off the mark. Like, I was like, you could have said basically any other words, and you would have been closer to what you just said. So that's great. But no, I did not have the orgy with the drow in which is like dark elf, at the brothel, because I didn't want to. I don't know, I assumed they would both be girls anyway. Maybe if they were both fellas, I'd think about it, but no. The plot was very good. I like that at the end, you're kind of given a decision that has no true right or wrong, and it really depends on how you feel about your dream guardian / the emperor. And personally, I found him quite manipulative. And maybe it's because I had made him a hot boy, and I was like, oh, I fancy the hot boy I made. And then he turned out to actually be a gross, rubbery, tentacle octopus man who eats like brains. Also, you can have sex. Okay, you can romance him, but only when he's in Mind Flayer mode. It happens in Act 3. And I almost did, but his skin was such a gross texture. And also, the very first thing I do, so, in the game, you do your tutorial, you're on a Mind Flayer ship. But you crash land, and then the game really starts, and you collect your friends and everything. And the first thing I do, I collect a handful of the party, but I stayed pretty close to the crashed ship, and there was, like, an injured Mind Flayer on the ground. And I was like, an NPC to interact with, you know? Like, I didn't think he would, fight, because he was injured. And he didn't fight, but I got a nat 1, which is an auto lose, for a roll. And he basically mind-controlled me, and sucked my brain out, and I got a game over. That was the very first thing I did. I had not saved, like, since the crash. I needed to recollect my friends. And so, the memory of that, and also the Emperor's gross rubbery skin, I was like, you know what, I'm backing out. I don't want to romance this. I can't kiss a gross octopus face. That's gross. What are you even gonna, I don't want, no. and because of doing that, like, because I almost did. I almost, I reciprocated the flirting he initiates, and then I backed out. And he was like, that's alright, whatever, we gotta focus on, you know, the important plot going on. But the narrator says that it's like, you feel disappointed because he gave up on the idea of you so easily. And I was like, that little shit, that little fucko, he didn't even care. He didn't even care. He didn't actually like me. So in the end, I freed the dude. And also, what a hoe. Because the Emperor, so, the way how it works, the Emperor is like, give me the special rocks so we can fight off the final boss. And you can do that. Or, you can be like, nah man, I'm gonna give the special rocks to the other guy. The guy that you've been kinda watching over this whole time. Have been imprisoning in this special thing. Special little prison thing. And I did that one. I was like, no. I'm siding with the other dude. And the Emperor is like, fine, then I guess I'll just go join the final boss. And I was like, bitch, that easily? You are such a little whore. I killed him so fast in that final fight. He was the first one dead. And it's mostly because he sat himself right in front of a dragon. And I was like, so I need to kill the dragon. And I don't know about you guys, I operate in AoE attacks almost exclusively. Twins' disgust is how I imagine trying to romance Cthulhu. And okay, so my moveset is almost always aimed at hitting multiple targets. Especially in a game like Baldur's Gate, there's so many enemies on screen, and so my favorite spell ended up being one that Gale had. Thank goodness I was romancing the wizard, and so he was always in the party. It's like a huge ring of ice falls from the sky, and it doesn't hit friends. That's always the big thing. My best move was Shatter, where I strum my cute little guitar, and it's like psychic damage shatters an area, but that can affect friends. And so it's always like a battle of, okay, I want to hit this big group of enemies, but I also really don't want to shatter my cleric. So can I angle this? Can I go after her? Kind of a deal. And have her move. But I didn't need to worry about that with Gale's good ice attack, and so that was my favorite move, and I did it all the time, constantly. And that was great, because I could just ice attack a whole bunch of guys, and then the Emperor died. Oh no. Twins, the Emperor helped you the entire way of the game, and you decide to backstab him in the end? What did you think he would do? Okay. He helped me the whole way, but it was just to serve himself. Like, he was just so, like, it felt like, you know, by the end of it, it feels like I was just a tool for him, not a friend. Yeah, he feigned friendship because he knew how to gain the trust of people, but he didn't really care about me. He cared about what I could do for him. But there was a part where I was like, brother, we could still be friends. You don't have to reassimilate with the colony, you know? You don't have to immediately go running to the bad guy and be like, boo-hoo-hoo, my girl abandoned me. He would have done better. I would have been more inclined to side with him if I could fuck him in the human form that he had. And not his gross, rubbery tentacle man form. Hi, Messiah. We're talking about Baldur's Gate. Isn't the one literally called Ring of Frost? I can't remember. I know it by the little picture it had in the wheel of spells, not by its name. Yeah, he just immediately, like, well, then I guess I'll just go back to not having banished plant dug. Alright, and go back to not having a personality. Oh, that's the table. There we go, there's Doug. Expectations. Plays a melody for a psychic attack. Reality. You just horrible playing an instrument that it hurts others. Twins, I think you misunderstood him, but fair enough. I think, depending on how your playthrough ends up going, can dictate a lot. That the big factor really was that oh, Plant Dog appears. The big factor really was that botched romance of me backing out and the narrator, oh, Human Doug is gone, and the narrator telling me that he, like, didn't even care, kind of a thing. That was the biggest motivator. Because otherwise he had a good chance, because the guy that you can otherwise side with is very much connected to Lae'zel. Lae'zel is one of the party members, and she's very, very aggressive at first. I hated her. She was rude and mean and didn't get along with anybody, and so I didn't use her for a good portion of the game. But then I did. I ended up backtracking in Act 1, because you go do stuff in the forest, and then you can go into the Underdark, or you can go towards, Dragon People land. Kind of a Dragon People area, which is what she is. She's a dragon person. Not actually a dragonborn. It's tough to describe. And I went to the Underdark, and I thought I had to choose between them. And then I learned that I could go back and actually go do the Dragon People stuff, too. And since that was very, like, exclusively her, like, personal quest location, I was like, I guess I'll put her on the team. I had been adventuring for fucking, like, 30 hours at this point. And I barely used her. However, because I went back and I did that, and I befriended her, and I think it was actually after Underdark. So yeah, I went through the Underdark, and then I entered the Spooky Forest, and then I did a bunch of Spooky Forest stuff. So it was even more time than I had remembered. I had been like halfway through the game and had not used her at all, and then I went back and I did some of her plot, and I was like, oh no, we're becoming friends. Like, having her on my team and learning more about her had me be like, ah, shit. She's written well, too! And so, but because I had spent so much time without her, like, it meant I didn't get attached to her. And also, in Act 3, one of the bad guys will kidnap a friend of yours. And the first one on the list of priority in terms of, like, the game code of getting kidnapped is Lae'zel, her. And so, right after I befriended her and I was like, cool, man, yeah, we'll hang out together, we'll do quests, she got kidnapped. And I was like, fuck! And I was able to get her back, but, it meant I did a bunch of quests without her again. Because I was like, well, I know that fight's gonna be really hard, so let me do some personal quests first before I go and do that. And so it really set everything up. I was very close to siding with the Emperor. I googled that one, and I was looking at the subreddit a lot to basically be like, what's the big difference? And that's the thing. The end result doesn't change too much. It affects Lae'zel's plot the most, I'd say. But it was very, very close. And I think that's another thing you gotta remember, is that it's like, if a girl rejects you and you act like you didn't care, then she's not gonna side with you and give you the special stones, when it comes to the point in the plot where you gotta fight the final boss. He turns on you even if you're nice to him, so long as you choose Orpheus over him. Yeah, it's true. Mind Flayers don't feel emotions like we do. Mind Flayer Karlach is radically different than regular Karlach. It sounds heartbreaking. There's a part of me that thinks, oh, I should do that, because I'd like to try to get the other endings for characters, and I know Karlach doesn't want to go back to hell. Karlach has to return to hell or die at the end of the game, because her heart has been replaced with an engine, and the engine can only functionally run in hell. if she's in the human world with us, she threatens overheating. And at the end of the game, if she does not return to hell, she will die. And I know she doesn't want to return to hell, and that she will only do it if she has a friend to go with her. For my playthrough, Will, became the Blade of Avernus, which is hell, what hell is called. The way how his plot shook down, I did not succeed in saving his dad. His dad died, oops, but he was able to break his pact with his evil patron, because he was a warlock. And he was like, so after we're done fighting all this stuff, I'm gonna go to hell and I'm gonna fight devils. And so, and it's what made me cry. Because Karlach starts her cutscene where she's like, I'm gonna die. It's happening. I'm gonna die. And the way how we get introduced to Karlach is through Will, unless you end up going a crazy route, but I met Will first, and you're probably going to. The path kind of leads you directly to him, and he has been tasked with hunting a devil in the area, which turns out to be Karlach. She's not a devil, she's just a tiefling. He was tricked. And so it being like, he starts out pretty aggressive, because it's like, fuck you, devil, and she's like, I'm no fucking devil, you bitch, but, she's so nice, and he's also very nice. They end up friends very quickly, and so at the end of the game, after, we get introduced to them, with him being like, I'm gonna assassinate that woman. And then at the very end of the game, she's like, soldier, I'm gonna die. She calls you soldier, it's very cute. She's like, soldier, I'm dying. It's happening, I'm dying. And he's like, no, Karlach, you're coming with me. We're gonna go to hell so you can survive. And I was like, because they were friends. But I'd like to get an ending at some point where Will does become the new Duke. Because he is like the son of Duke Ravengard, or I think that's his name. He's set to become next in line for the king, to rule over Baldur's Gate. And I would like for Will to get that ending at some point, because I think he would make a swell Duke. But I don't want Karlach to die. And so it's like, well, I guess she could become a mind flayer, because it's either Karlach goes to hell, and she'll only go to hell with a friend. So either you have to go with her, or Will has to go with her. But I'm not gonna romance Karlach, because I'm not into women. So I'm not gonna go to hell with her. So it's either she goes to hell with a friend, she dies, or she becomes a mind flayer, because she knows she's gonna die. She will offer herself. She'll be like, I'll do that, I'll do that. So then my death at least matters. And it's like, oh, but that's sad too. So it's rough. Karlach's rough. I guess that's why my ex wouldn't give me the Infinity Stones. It was very sad that the Dammon subplot doesn't actually affect her ending at all. It's kind of a waste of time. Yeah. I mean, it was nice for the little bit of it. The cutscene where we succeed in letting her be able to touch people. Because at first, she's too hot. Her engine runs hot. She's, like, literally warm. She will burn you. And through Dammon, the blacksmith, we end up being able to fix her up a little bit so she has cooled off enough that she can physically interact with people again. And that was really nice. So, I like that part. That's pretty cool. She's just such a nice character. She's written so well. I love all the characters, honestly. But Karlach has a really infectious personality. She's perfect. It's like, oh, but I want her to live and be happy. Her calling me soldier had me with the hard eyes immediately. Dammon Bits is there so you can, like Dammon is there so you can fuck Karlach, I see. Yeah. Well, like I said, I killed Dammon because I did not save the woman from getting kidnapped in the spooky forest, and so the town was raised and turned into zombies, and so I had to kill him. So he wasn't gonna show up again anyway. Which is a bummeroni, because I really liked him. But yeah, next playthrough, I want to fuck more characters. I want to fuck more characters, and I want to actually romance Astarion this time, I think. Will was really great. I liked Will's writing a whole lot. 10 out of 10, very handsome. But I want to see now the ending with Astarion as well, cause fuck it, cause I can't. Cause the game is fun and I want to play it again. And I don't want to just romance the same guy every time. So, yeah. And generally for these sorts of things, I like to try to make different decisions. But I got a bunch of happy endings this time, and I don't really want, you know, the endings where it's like, oh, and then this one turns evil, and that one dies, and that one also dies. Oh. Next time twins save Will's dad in the underwater prison. Yeah, that was, I don't even know what happened. I really fucked up. I don't know how I fucked up that part. But I did fuck it up. Oh my gosh! I should actually post it to the Discord or something. I took a picture of... This is gonna be such a such a convoluted way I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pull up a picture. I'm gonna post it to the Discord first. So, in Act 3. In Act 3, you get a quest where you, I described it as Save the Mermaids. Where you find, like, a lady who is like, oh man, one of we are druids of water. Oh, Plant Doug's gone. Plant Doug, he's out. Yeah, there's a lady that's like, we are druids of water. Oh man, we love the water. But one of our water druids, hence Save the Mermaids, she like died from pollution. And it's like, oh no. Which, you know, I really like the idea of that, of having, because druids are so often like Halsin. You know, they're so often like, you know, fellas and ladies who are, I do tree stuff. I am the tree. Wow. And that's so okay. But the water druids had me be like, yo, we can have druids do other types of elements. That's so fun. And so I did the quest to save the mermaids. And I kind of fucked it up, but they were happy with me by the end. I was like, yo, the guy that you sent me to, like, assassinate, he left, because I did something first, and so he bailed. And they were like, oh, okay, that's fine. Here's your reward. And they gave me robes. And so if you don't know, wizards wear robes. They do not wear armor. They are impeded by armor. They have mage armor that they can cast on themselves instead. And Gale, my husband, was the only one in the party that did not wear armor, who was the only one who would wear robes. The rest of us needed armor, otherwise we would take more extra damage. But it was armor of the mermaids. It was the mermaid armor, and I expected it to So this is good. This is good so far. We got to see his titties. I like that. That's really swell. This is a picture of my screen. I like took a photo of my screen, which is why it's this like growing quality. I was like, oh my lord! It was so close to being great, but Allison also replied with "oh," because I immediately texted her. If you look at this, you can see that the bottom of the slit in the chest is the same height as the top of the slit in the legs. The boots absolutely ruined the outfit, and I was like, fuck, it's actually pretty nice robes. Like, I liked the stats that it offered, but this, I could not. And I looked up, I was like, are there better shoes? Can I put better shoes on him to make this outfit work better? And there were no shoes that gave him like leggings or anything, and so it did not did not work out. The boots absolutely ruined it. Also, his character, and that was the other thing. I was like, character dictates so much, and I knew that his character would be like, I do not want to wear this. I am self-conscious. Also, I gotta say, you can see, seeing as how you can see his whole damn side and hips, that his underwear is not visible. And I was like, if I'm ever gonna see a penis, this is gonna be the outfit I see one in. Because I feel like if it's not like video game glued to his crotch, then this little flippy flap of fabric is absolutely gonna fly around if he turns too fast. But I did not keep him in this. But I absolutely kept the picture because, duh. His tuck game is immaculate. Oh. The stats were good. It's because I just gave him this robe, or this cape. You can see the cape in the background. It's like orange. Got that off of a grease wizard. Wow. Hello, welcome. I'll have to explain. Hang on. Let me blow my nose really quick. Elegant. That's what I am. That's what they all say. This was a robe I found in the game, and I put it on my wizard, and I didn't think it would look like this. But it was absolutely a picture worth taking. Oh man. What was I saying? Oh yeah, because I gave him that cape from the Flame Wizard, the Flame Grease Wizard, and the cape gave him like fire stuff, and the robe would have given him water stuff, and they would have interacted really well together, and that's why I liked the effects of the robe. But yeah, no, I did not keep him in that outfit though. But welcome, Helicoprion. Helicoprion. I will absolutely call you Helicopter, and I'm sorry. It's not out of disrespect. It's because I'm dumb. Does he have back? Like, are you asking if oh, is the back low cut too? No. Well, I guess if it was, I wouldn't have known, because he had the cape on, so I didn't see it. I'll be honest, there were other things on screen that I was distracted by. I paid too much attention to the unfathomable amount of side ass and thigh I was getting. So, I don't know, his back could have been out, and I didn't see it, because not in my eyes. Oh, it's Pizza Cutter Shark. Okay, okay. Welcome. Yeah, if you all change your names, then I will not know who you are. And if you go by a different thing on a different website, like if you're like, hey, it's me, Tiddlywinks on Twitch, but then like on Twitter you go by She's the Best, then I will think you are two different people. Oh yeah, Tiddlywinks. And then also, She's the Best. Those two cool different kids. But did you see Pee-Pee? I did not. I did try. I was like, okay, let's do some quick spins and see if I see anything. But I didn't see anything, so I think it might be magically, digitally glued to the pee-pee. So, no flashing, unfortunately. But that's alright. I mean, I could see it if I just, you know, took off all of his equipment in the menus. That feels so lame, though. It's just like, it's boring. With how penis-fixated Twins is, if there were a visible amount of pee-pees, Twins would show it on screen now to a disturbing... No, incorrect. Because I would get banned off of Twitch for doing that. They're my pee-pees. They're my special pee-pees that go into my special pee-pee folder. That's not true. I don't have that. What a weird thing that would be. I only cared so much about the penises because the game asked genitals yay or nay. And so that put it in my head that we would be seeing some genitals. And I think that's reasonable. It's like, well, I mean, I opted in for genitalia. So, bring on the penises. If I didn't want to see any, I could have just said no. But because they brought it up, I was like, well, then you had better be bringing it up if you know what I'm saying. There was much more to this game than just penises. Clearly, seeing as how I didn't fucking see any. The sex scenes was where it was the most disappointing. Why? I romanced multiple characters, and I only got close to seeing the incubus's penis, and that's great. But I didn't even actually see it, and then so I was like, fucking why? I romanced, I in-game had sex with both the vampire and the wizard, and in both of them, the vampire just took his shirt off, and I was like, remove thine pants. Let me see your penis for the sex scene. And then Gale was a nervous Nelly, and he didn't even take off his shirt. And I was like, you young man, you take that shirt off. And I suppose theoretically, you could prepare them by putting them in sexier outfits or removing their clothes before initiating the sexy cutscenes. Like, I could have taken that initiative, but as a player, I didn't want to have to do that. I wanted the game to give it to me. I could just draw a penis, but if I'm playing a video game, I want them to come to me. If you know what I mean. No. Twins, present them now. Sending you some Top Gear penis clips, like the show with Matt LeBlanc, or the British version. Damn, even after racking up a body count, you couldn't see any D. Rip. I know, what's even... This is why I probably ended up falling in love with Satan so much, because his incubus was the sexiest cutscene. What a shame that he, like, takes over your mind. Stupid. Thy pantaloons. But yeah, I think I may have exhausted. Sorry, it's fucking Gale over there. I think I may have exhausted all of my talking points for Baldur's Gate. Really swell. I'm excited to start up my next playthrough, probably this weekend, because it's just real dang fun. Real dang fun. Awfully long. It was an 80-hour playthrough, give or take. The hours were a little hewy-skewy because saving over, like a save didn't update how many hours you were in, so it was around 80, but 80 hours well spent. They could have at least given him a bulge. Oh, they do! That was another thing, though. Oh, okay. Because I was like, man, the vampire is so rude. Why do people like this guy? And then... Thank you! I'll call you Star. You're swell. I appreciate you. But in his trousers, his pantaloons, like... You can see that there's some bulge happening, and I was like, the penis that I opted into. Oh my, it's beyond that. And then I never got to see it, so what was the point? Whoa, hello, who's the guy with the long legs on the right? That's Gale. He's also the handsome wizard down here, next to the jar. This was an outfit I could put him in the game. I opted not to, because this was just distracting. But yeah, he's a wizard, so, and that's the mermaid outfit. 10 out of 10. I ended up romancing him. Good stuff. I liked this game a whole lot. Highly recommend. And not just because there are so many fuckable boys that available in it, but that is a huge part of why I liked it. Devs need to drop the nude skins for Baldur's Gate. They don't even need to. They're already there. I can just remove everyone's equipment and underwear, and then we would be running around nude. But I shouldn't have to. Not for the sexy cutscenes. Astarion's better. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Astarion's definitely the one I'm gonna go for in my next playthrough. I had wandered between them a lot. I ended up just jiving with Gale more in my playthrough. Like, I just naturally chose all the things that gave me approval Gale points. Versus Astarion, it felt like he disapproved of everything I was doing because I was being nice to birds and to orphaned children. Boo-hoo. So, you know. But Astarion is also really well written. I liked his story a lot. And I don't regret that canonically my character did fuck him and then opted to not stay with him, but that we were still friends, you know? I think there's something special to that. It's got a hot tip. Just because, you know, you have sex with someone and then you end up not staying together, you can still be best friends. There you go. Ooh wow. Except we weren't, because I feel like I didn't build him right. Astarion ended up so weak at the end of the game. Hang on, I gotta blow my nose again. He was an invaluable member for disarming traps. That was great. But in terms of combat, I feel like I just didn't capitalize on him in the best way. I had him be a trickster, so like he was a rogue, but he could also do some spells. But by endgame, like he couldn't do any spells that well. But also, like I feel like he couldn't hit hard enough. I don't know. I would want to play more with like how to make Astarion actually decent in late game. I think I just didn't use hide as well as I should have. But making him a trickster was your first mistake. Well, it defaulted to that. That was the thing. I didn't want to wander away from what it felt like the canon option was intended to be. So I went with, you know, like what the game kind of defaulted to for all of them. Second playthrough, I'm absolutely gonna play more with reclassing my friends, and I'll fix Astarion so that he's actually usable. Barbarians are so fucking boring. I feel so bad for barbarians. They get like nothing. You level up and every other character gets like, here's a new ability you can do. Here's a bunch of spells that you can choose. And then Karlach levels up and it's like, you have more health. Way to go. And it's like, that's so fucking boring. I hope eventually they've got to make 6th edition. We're on 5th edition D&D. And Baldur's Gate is based on D&D. And I do think barbarians are, and in general, not spell-based classes are sorely misused. There are no abilities require strength except for like one. And it's like, and it's so, they have like nothing in their disposal. And it's like, I can hit hard, and and that's it. And it's like, wow, fighters do that too. And fighters can also rally, and fighters can learn to cast spells, and barbarians can't. And in general, I feel like players who don't want to cast spells end up with so little that they can do in the grand scheme of D&D, unless they've got a DM who's willing to like really work with homebrewing some stuff. And that follows through into Baldur's Gate, where Karlach, I love Karlach, she's great, but it did end up being like, okay, my turn, I'm going to use my action, I'm going to Thunderwave this guy so I can push him away, because he's affronting me. And then I'm going to use my bonus action, I could heal, but we haven't taken that much damage, so instead I'm going to use my bonus action, I'm going to use my give Bardic Inspiration to one of my friends, I'm going to give it to Gale, because I want to make sure he can succeed in, like, Constitution saving throws. Okay, now it's Gale's turn, and I'm gonna use his action to cast, you know, fucking Mage Bolt or whatever. And he succeeded, that's excellent, and then, so bonus action, Misty Step, so he can get away from all this danger, and I'll put him up somewhere high so he's safe. Karlach's turn, okay, so, I hit a guy, and then, she gets to hit a guy again, so I hit a guy again. Okay, and now someone else's turn, you know, like, that's how it felt like, you know, all barbarians can do is swing sword, and it's a bummeroni. I just feel like there's more they could get to have. I think barbarians should have abilities where, like, they can maim enemies. And I know that often you can say things like, I want to attack their arm specifically. I want to disarm them literally. And that's not a barbarian-specific thing. Anyone with a sword can say that. But I think barbarians should just have, like a leg up on stuff like that. I think they should be able to resist more things through the sheer power of rage. And they might be able to. I would have to double check on how rage works. But, whatever. Whatever. We're never gonna get 6th edition, it's just gonna be endless changes to 5e. You're probably not wrong. The way how it's currently going. It would be kinda like releasing Among Us 2, and it's like, wow, that's a stupid idea. But I feel like we've had 5e for so long, and I do think it's not out of the question to say that Critical Role plays a humongous part in the popularity of D&D currently. And Critical Role has been playing in 5e for a long fucking time now. And I feel like there's a good chance they will just homebrew their next playthrough. They might not, but, I mean, you know, Percy, that's not his name, Taliesin Jaffe, has basically been homebrewing all of his characters anyway, because he's been playing D&D since the dawn of time. But they're all really playing with, like, really different, like, homebrewed classes and homebrewed races. And so I feel like surely Wizards of the Coast must see that it's like, okay, we have to shake things up, and wow, offering a small handful of different animal races to play as isn't gonna be enough forever, you know? So I don't know, maybe that would be the big kick in the pants they need, is if, you know, Critical Role wraps Season 3, Bell's Hells, Save the Day or whatever, and then, you know, they start up their next playthrough, and it's like, okay, cool, and Mercer just made his own tabletop, you know, D&D inspired thing, and then everyone wants to play that. And suddenly, Wizards has competition. And so they have to really shake up their formula. I think that's what would lead to that, personally. Just came back, what is happening? I was talking about D&D. I've heard, bards are getting changed to be better, like, rage being, barbarians, barbs. Rage being more useful in the new update. That would be great. That would be swell. Keep looking at Gale. There's a lot to look at. A lot to appreciate. I gotta say though, as it's perfect as this picture really is, I am disappointed that I got him, like, at a quite unflattering angle. He usually looks more handsome than this. But I just got him while he was, like, turning his head. If you want to know, I put him in Gortash's outfit, which means he gotta have his titties out. Hooray for me. I like boy titty. Let me grab Gortash. Gortash was voiced by, I forget his name, the same guy who voices or plays Lucian Malfoy in Harry Potter. He's also General Zhao in Avatar, which was great. Also, oh boy, what's his name? J. Jonah Jameson? Fuck. He's also Tenzin in Avatar. He also, voiced one of the bad guys. And he did a great job. That guy is one of the best voice actors we got currently. J.K. Simmons, thank you! Yeah. So that was really cool. Mercer was also in the game, and I completely missed him. I was watching the credits, and it was like, oh, cool, voice cast, I gotta pay attention to this. And it was like, Matthew Mercer as Minsk. And I was like, who the fuck is that? That is not a real character. And he's a real character. You can get him in, like, in Act 3. Completely missed him. Not real to me. Here he is, that's Gortash, a handsome man. I gotta say, honestly, smash. And look at all this titty. Wow. His titties are so out. And now imagine Gale wearing that. This is the outfit I put Gale in. And it was great. I'll put Gortash into the husband lineup. Why not? If I could, I would. Let's be honest. Is his hair dyed? No, that's weird lighting. He's just got, like, this. It's not even black. It's like a dark gray, hair. Gortash's outfit looks good with anyone. It really is. I did dye it. He was what forced me to finally be like, I think I must start dyeing outfits. Because I put it on Gale, and it was like, this is great. You do look evil. and so I dyed it to make it not black anymore, so he looked less evil. OMG, he's so 2010. There's another picture of Gortash where he looks less 2010. I did see him. There was, like, a cutscene going on. And I just expected, like, devils and stuff to be there. And then instead I saw Gortash, but I didn't know who this guy was. This was my introduction to him and another character who I don't care about. But, I literally, in my head, I go, a handsome man! Golly, there was a part of me that was like, uh-oh, am I gonna change husbands again? Because I had already, like, left Astarion for Gale, and I was like, I don't know, I do like me some evil guys. This one's a worse quality picture because it's tiny, but that's a more accurate depiction of him being evil and his dark gray hair. So there you go. But we'll delete that one. Nice. Mince is great twins, and you are bad for missing him. Well, I just didn't know. Didn't know he was even there. Don't forget, I really did not explore Act 3 as much as I should have. I didn't find the hag. I did not relocate her. Or the gal who I had saved from the hag earlier. I killed the ox, so I couldn't find that. And damn it, I couldn't find him either. But yeah, I didn't think literally everything had a quest going on in it. I blazed through. You enter Act 3, and you don't start off right in Baldur's Gate, the town. You're in, like, fucking Riften or whatever. Like a little kind of shitty dirt road town pit stop kind of a thing. And I fucking blazed through that, because I was like, give me to Baldur's Gate, give me to town so I could go find Satan, so I could go fuck his incubus, because I knew that was coming up, and I was like, give me there. So I really blazed through that whole area as well, and I just never went back, except for the circus, because I was like, fuck, there's a circus? I need to go. Just more proof that Karlach is a 10 out of 10 friend and character, was that I get to the circus location, and the guy's like, hey, we're the circus, and Karlach, who I had in the team, is like, the circus! Can we go, please? And I was like, fuck yeah! We made it in. And then the circus was filled with zombies and murderers. That's fine. Also a drag queen. Like, I'm pretty sure they were voiced by a drag queen as well. They were cool. She was like the, kind of like the MC of the whole circus. Like, it was her shindig. I liked that character. They were fun. Looked up Gale in the outfit, and I can't stop being giddy, cause wow, right? Like, listen, Astarion, I so understand why people tend to aim towards Astarion more. Sexy vampire? Hell yeah, baby! Okay, but Gale, fucking smash-o-tastic. Cum-tacular. Oh my. Bonus fact, I learned that Astarion, so Astarion as a vampire, he's like thousands of years old or whatever. Hundreds at least. He was 39 when he got transformed. So, on a technicality, this is a nearly 40-year-old man that we're all falling for. And as a lady of increasing age, I'm not near 40, but I am sick of children. I am sick of everything looking like fucking Persona. And it's like, oh, I want to romance that character, but, you know, I'm playing Stardew Valley, and 3 of them are, like, fucking high schoolers, it seems. So I basically only have 3 options. And as a lady who is sick of romanceable fucking children in these dang old games, having men, not boys, men to fuck made me delighted. He does look 40, and I do wonder how much that white hair matters. That is because he is a vampire. He's also got red eyes. He cannot remember what his hair color was previously. Personally, I feel like in my code, it's gotta be black. That's a black-haired man. Maybe it's just because he's got dark eyebrows. But, yeah. Good stuff. Either romance a high schooler punk, loser, or a dad. The drag queen is also a necromancer. That's why everything in the circus is like a zombie. And it was like, oh, I don't hate this. I'm just confused, I guess. But yeah, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna wrap up here so I can play some Project Sekai. And that's it. I think I have regaled you all with my long list of Smash. Enough. So yeah, I have no idea what we're gonna do tomorrow. No idea. I am Baldur's Gate pilled. All I want to do is think about Baldur's Gate. I might do more art. I don't have any other, like, tier lists or anything kind of lined up. So maybe we'll finally finish that Ogre Pod video, picture, image, but I don't know! Also, the reason Gale didn't hurt friendlies is because you picked him to be an invocationist. Oh, I thought that was a spell-specific thing. I didn't know it was because I'm secretly a gigabrain. I just accidentally made my husband the perfect man in every way. That's really great to know. I may have read that and been like, ah, fuck yeah, because I always worry about Shatter, but then I just forgot. Isn't it evoker? I think both words work. Evocationist is the fancy version of it. And then evoker is what us layman folk say. He would call himself an invocationist. And then Astarion would go, evoker. Speller. Spellman. Wizard. Anyway, I gotta wrap up actually. So adios. I'll see you on the flip side. Drink your water, eat your vegetables, make smart choices, all that jazz, and, goodbye!